Everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for the Bondy Blue Show. Yes! Okay. All right. So, couple of things. Down in the description box, I realize a lot of y'all don't click on that. Click on it. Okay, click on that. My website, my email, my Instagram, also my Patreon account. You know, if you love me enough to give me $1 a month. Go on over to my Patreon account. I am gonna have like exclusive content on there that is only on Patreon for the paying fan. All right. Yeah, and it'll be videos of me and Lyric just vlogging, doing regular stuff, nothing too major if you care. So my first topic, Maxine Waters. Y'all know about Queen Maxine, okay? I ain't got to tell y'all. If you don't know who she is, Google it, bitch. Okay. She got honored at the Black Girls Rock Award show. I watched it. It was okay. The people they honored, always fantastic. The actual show, it was okay. I was mostly in it when Lettucey performed and when that gospel singer performed. Those two performances, like I was here on the air and everything. And Lettucey just was taking me there, singing her face off and shit, and kicking her legs up. I was surprised she didn't take her shoes off and start, you know, running around the stage, giving me Patti LaBelle, Fantasia feels. But you know what? I was here for it, okay? It was very excitable. All right? Maxine Waters was honored at the end. She looked like she was having a wonderful time. She had a red dress on. She was giving us everything. She got up there to give a speech. And she gave a very profound speech about being a black woman and being told that you're less than, but that she had the help of other black women to help lift her up. Okay? Things that the right, you know, the right wing crazy people that, you know, go against her, all of that. She made comments about that, basically saying that they would try to tear her down as a black woman and they wouldn't want her to believe how special and great she is, and she doesn't care who comes at her. It could be the president, okay, of the United States of America, okay? If you come for her, she coming for you, okay? That's what Maxine told y'all on stage. Stacey Dash saw this and decided to get her I don't have a job ass on Twitter and call Maxine Waters a buffoon. And she was using the media for her last little late 15 minutes of fame. And I was like, wow, Stacey Dash, wow. You know, Stacey has done some questionable, if not ridiculous things in the past few years, said, you know, terrible things, whatever. But to see that when it was so unnecessary, and it's like, so that must mean that Stacey Dash was at home watching BET, you know, the channel she don't understand why we have to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that kills me about Stacey Dash. Like, you obviously were watching, and after she got all this backlash, okay, she decided to tweet and say that it was an intern, somebody else, an assistant that did it, that used the wrong words. And she doesn't have to call people names to disagree. And I just want Stacey Dash to know she got fired from Fox News. Nobody cares what she thinks. The only thing that you are greatly known for is being Dion on Clueless and now being out of nowhere an extreme right-wing black woman that seems to have some type of identity crisis. And it's not fun to watch. It's very annoying. I agree with what Charlemagne the God said when he gave her, I don't know if he gave her a donkey of the day. I think he gave her a donkey of the day. But he basically said his issue with her is that he feels as if her being a black woman takes a back seat to the perception that she's this really conservative person. Yeah, Stacey Dash, when you gonna stop? When you gonna go, you know, sit down, be somebody's housewife and shut the F up forever? Nobody cares what you have to say. Keep that to yourself. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. You guys, is a rape allegation, okay, I might bring up Mystikal at any given time. And it's because I was so disappointed in Mystikal. First of all, when Mystikal first went to jail, I didn't know if he actually did it. There are a lot of times, like Tupac went to jail and he didn't actually rape anybody. You know what I mean? But that's what they put out there. But after speaking to other people who know him, who have spoken to him about this situation, it became clear to me that he did exactly what that lady probably said that he did, okay? Did exactly what she said. He got charged, he was sentenced, this is not an issue. He got out of jail, he was 6 years in jail, and he gets out and apparently does almost the exact same thing with holding a woman against her will. Tanisha Wofford is supposedly an accomplice of his that is still on the loose. She tried to make the victim recant her story. And as a woman, I feel like, oh my God, you have no self-respect. You probably had terrible parents. I don't know like what's wrong with you, but I get so upset when issues that are vital to women get ignored by women. That bothers me. And for you to try to make her recant a rape allegation when you know good and goddamn well that Mystikal is out here grabbing pussies. You, okay, like, you know, and doing more than that. But you know what I'm saying? In so many words. I have a real problem with this, man. I have a real problem with this. I'm disappointed in Mystikal. He is from New Orleans. We always love Mystikal music. Out of all the rappers that came out of New Orleans, he was very much like at the top. It was pretty much like Juvenile, Mystikal, then Lil Wayne. Up until like a certain period of time, okay? I'm just saying. Am I lying? Like, I feel like Lil Wayne wasn't at the top at first. He was not at the, no, okay? I think Project Bitch might have made the turn, okay? That one verse on Project Bitch, I think, changed the game for him. And then why was that? And then mine on it. Suck everything out of it. Catch it and swallow it. Louise for sheezy, I'm off the easy, believe me. See me, I squeeze it between it and then I leave it so greasy. When I come through in a Rolls Royce, leave them with no choice but to hop up in it and just let me meet they through more. That shit is so nasty. Knew all the words to it forever. Okay, ever since it came out. But yeah, Mystikal turned himself in, so it's probably back to jail he goes. Okay, you're in the jailhouse now. Again, like who? I don't understand people that don't care about going to jail. Like, I don't get your psyche. Now I'm starting to feel like something is seriously and really wrong with you, because I don't think you feel bad about any of the things that you've done. I'm not even about to say this shit is alleged no more. You got charged with that shit the first time, and now you're about to get charged again, and you turned yourself in, and you had somebody trying to coerce the witness. Child, please. Child, please. Mystikal, I don't know what to tell you. I am disappointed. More in the R. Kelly saga, okay? Jerhonda Pace, that's her name. Jerhonda, that's a terrible name. Jerhonda Pace alleges a relationship with R. Kelly that started back in 2008 when she was 15 years old. She was holding up signs defending R. Kelly during his trial outside of the courthouse, and he passed her every day, and I guess he must have told somebody to get that girl name and number, find out where she's from, because I'm gonna go looking for her when I get out of here. And that's what he did, okay? Invited her to a party, put the moves on her. She was all excited. It's R. Kelly, baby. You know all of this, right? Then he makes her strip and give him oral sex, then has her sign an affidavit to the effect of her parents were trying to extort money from him or blackmail him, and he had already given her money. Sorry, excuse my dog. Yeah, okay, so he made her do all of this to protect himself after he'd had sex with an underage girl. Then he took her virginity after that happened. Okay, their relationship continued from 2008 to 2010, so from 15 to 17 basically. Within the time frame of their relationship, she would stay with him on the weekends, and she had to abide by certain rules, and if she did not abide by these rules, she was mentally, verbally, and physically abused. And the first time she says he really put his hands on her, she decided to leave and get a lawyer, and she did get a huge settlement. But she has decided to come out and speak anyway because of the recent events and how she thinks this will affect, you know, what happens going forward, that this actually happened to somebody else, and you need to know that nobody's making this up. But here's my thing. Y'all come out after the time frame in which she could have been prosecuted is over. The women that we have heard and seen are of age and are with him by choice. So a lot of things are against him actually being brought to justice. It's probably going to take for somebody to knock R. Kelly's head off when he's not looking for this to be over, because he seems to be very careful, and the people who he does this to don't seem to want to speak when the time frame would help with pressing charges against him. They tried. You know, and it's ridiculous because when you think about it, I really want to know, you know, how you need this young girl to aid in her own defense when you have him on video peeing on her from the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like, now that I think about that, he got away with that most of because those girls were not really coming forth and trying to aid in the defense of what happened to them. They were still having, you know, the syndrome where they feel so near and dear to him and want to protect him instead of protecting themselves. And just like Johanna said, it took her years to realize the effects this really had on her. And it's the same thing with anybody that something like this happens to. Sometimes it takes time for you to understand what happened. I didn't realize certain things until I got older either. Okay, but I also understand as a young woman, 15, 16 years old, how it must feel to have somebody like R. Kelly invite you to his house for a party, and how it could be very easy for you to be like, all right, I'll live here and do what you want me to do. You paying for everything. I ain't gotta have a job. I don't have to do nothing. You are Kelly. You know, I'm sure he's great in bed. I'm sure he's had a lot of practice. Okay, having sex with little teenage girls and stuff. So, you know, like I'm telling y'all, from the mind frame of a young girl, I imagine how she would be thinking about this. And now as the years go on and you realize that somebody took a portion of your life from you and you weren't able to live life like a regular 16, 17, 18-year-old girl because you was hauled up in R. Kelly's house every weekend, you know, sucking an onion. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad, and I really hope that people will stop giving their children over to him, because let's not act like these parents don't know him or what he's done, and they still bring their kids to him, bring their teenage daughters to him. They got so many other celebrities out there that can help your kids that's not trying to fuck them. You know what I mean? Get it together, everybody. But I really would like to see something happen to R. Kelly, because it is his narcissistic personality and the gall of him to believe that he has done nothing wrong, to the effect that he never says anything, he never replies to anything, he never defends himself, he acts like it never happens. And that is my problem with him. You don't feel sorry, you don't think what you're doing is wrong, and that's a fucking issue. But at the same time, I'm not going to stop listening to his music. I already told y'all I'm not going to buy anything anymore. But I'm also not about to stop listening to the songs that I love because the artist is an asshole and a pedophile. Well, not a pedophile, a statutory rapist. Okay, we got to get that right. He's a statutory rapist, allegedly. Okay, like I'm not about to stop listening to R. Kelly songs for that, because R. Kelly songs have meanings to me from what happened in my life when I heard that. It's not about him, it's about me. And I know a lot of people don't jive with that, because when they hear his music, they think about whatever he might have done. I don't think about that. That's not my thought process. You know how many artists out there have done terrible things, and we go on not knowing about the terrible things they've done, but still fully enjoying their music? Like I said, I ain't buying nothing, but Honey Love is definitely still on the playlist. Like, Jay-Z did a really good interview, you guys, on Tidal. And if you don't have Tidal, then you probably didn't see it. But he did this interview. It seemed like it was at his house. It was on the beach. You can hear the water and all of that in the background. You can hear kids and kitchen shit, you know, clanking in the background. It was just like a real a feeling, you know, that they was giving off. A real, you know, I'm just going to invite y'all to my house and let y'all ask me anything y'all want to, because my album was that good. That's the feel you get. And that's the feel I had. Shit. In the interview, he talked about a lot of things about the process of the album, about how they came together with all the different samples that they did, about him really wanting this album to be one of his best albums, wanting to like really make it about a message instead of just one song having a message, making a whole album have a message, but also keeping it short enough to have everybody still interested. It was very strategic. Even the way they released it, I don't know if y'all remember, but they released like these little videos on social media, one with Danny Glover. I saw another one with Lupita Nyong'o and a couple of other actors that I know, and it was like black and white video, and it said 444, and nobody had any idea what the hell 444 was. He said he did that on purpose because he wanted to confuse people. The confusion led to groundswell. And when the album came out, people reacted the way he wanted them to react, and some people didn't. For instance, you took the line about money phones and that not being money to him, and everybody took that and had something to say about it. The line he said about Future, everybody took that and had something to say about it. And he was just like, look, man, none of this is personal. This is just how I rap. I mean, it's rap. Like, fuck. Like, what you want me to do? You know, like, if I find a scheme and it's good, I'm going to use the scheme. With the Future thing, that was a scheme. That was something that sounded good when he set it up, and he kept it because it was like, I don't really care how this dude feels. I'm not about to not do my rap how I want to do my rap because Future might get upset about it. That's not hip-hop, okay? That's not hip-hop. Another thing, the money phone thing. Nobody told y'all to stop doing it. He just trying to let y'all know my level of money is me and my 3 homeboys sitting on the floor at this game where these expensive seats at, and this is, you know, this is money to us. Y'all holding stacks of money to y'all ear, you know, nah, that ain't money to us. That ain't on the level we on. We ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's a progression. He's a grown-ass man at this point. He got 3 kids and a wife and, you know, a long relationship and therapy and a successful business and experience in life. All of this has happened to Jay-Z, and he is coming to y'all rapping as a grown-ass man. And for some people, it was hard to take. They got people that just don't like Jay-Z, so they're not going to give this album a chance. They're going to call it overrated. They're going to say whatever they want to say. I'm one of the first people to call something overrated when it's overrated. This fucking album is great. It's a good album. I enjoyed the album. Okay? So I don't understand anybody's beef with the album. The main thing that everybody was really talking about was his comments about Kanye, and about how him and Kanye have had issues throughout the years, but they always come back to one another. That's his brother. But he took it too far when he got on stage during the concert and started to scream and holler about Jay-Z and Beyonce and their kid and not coming to birthday parties and all of this type of stuff. And he even says that Kanye might feel how he feel, like he might have a reason to feel how he feel, but at the same time, when you get up on stage and start talking about my wife and my kids, you didn't put it in a different place. And now we're going to have to fix that. He says that will. But he definitely let it be known that we ain't talking because you have way too much to say concerning my wife and my kid, and it ain't gonna go down like that, because I ain't never said nothing about your wife and your kid. I just make, you know, I make moves the way I want to make moves. If I don't want to be around that, I'm not gonna be around that. And the thing that Kanye has to remember is you changed, not everybody else. Okay? Jay-Z is the same dude he was in respect to, I think, how he feels about the people he gonna be around. And the same thing with Beyonce. No matter what anybody say, Beyonce and Jay-Z are 2 people that have worked extremely hard and have had really great work ethic and business smarts to get where they are. I imagine that sitting next to somebody that all they had to do was have a sex tape be turned into a multi-million-dollar corporation with a reality show with no personality and a whole bunch of makeup and clothes and all of this based off of surgeries. None of this shit is solidified or real in a world where Beyonce was on red carpets with Destiny's Child and her mama was making their costumes, and I done worked my way up to being one of the hugest stars ever in time. Over the course of 20 years, I've worked this hard, and you come out of nowhere right around my 15th year. Okay? have sex with Brandy little brother on a DVD, get a reality show, and now all of a sudden you supposed to be on the same level with me because you fucking my old man brother? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just two totally different type of circles of rich people, and that's just, it is what it is. But it was a very interesting interview, and if you do get a chance to see it, you should definitely see it. It's time for my motherfucking advice. It's time for my motherfucking advice. Okay? Feel me. Feel me. Okay. My boyfriend recently met his deadbeat father, who is a pastor. What? Everyone asked him to be careful when doing this because my boyfriend has the purest heart. He's been through a lot, and he thinks since he's already been through hell, things couldn't get any worse. He thinks he's already met the worst of the worst and chooses to see the good in people and neglect the bad, and says, oh, maybe they're just having a bad day. No, baby, you just got to introduce it. I mean, you just got introduced to them a little faster than most. Like, I guess this is the excuses he makes. This world is fucked up. I've watched him skip his lunch break to sneak into a store to buy a homeless man lunch. Anywho, he's very optimistic despite his past, and he's always looking for a new source of happiness. However, this fuckboy he calls his father is not it. The first thing he said when he found him on Facebook was, I don't have any money. He actually made him speak to 3 other relatives that didn't know he existed before speaking to him. That makes 0 sense to me. My boyfriend is passionate about becoming a husband and a father when the time is right, but he's always saying certain things have to happen before he can go down that path. My father is no longer with us. They never met, but I was fortunate enough to have both parents in my childhood, so I will never fully understand the emptiness in his heart. Needless to say, shit hit the fan eventually, and after watching my boyfriend deal with anxiety attacks stemmed from a constant feeling of abandonment he never acknowledged or recognized, and depression, my boyfriend finally realized this is unhealthy. His father is a bitch, and ultimately he realized that there isn't a damn thing he can learn from his fraudulent pastor in terms of learning how to be a good man, husband, and a father. My boyfriend thought he was the second of 2 kids. He's actually the third of 5. No one knew he existed. There was a little bit of proof of the other older 2 from what he saw when he visited their house, aka shack he settled for when he ditched town to avoid paying child support. Girl, I'm spilling the tea. I'm in too deep to stop now. Yeah, I see that. He has somewhat of a relationship with the 2 that are younger than him, but no relationship with the ones older than him. By the strength of God, my boyfriend has gotten a degree in architecture. There aren't many minorities with this degree, and he's African American. He's employed, making good money, and has stayed off the streets all by himself. When his father heard of this, he decided to show off the son no one knew existed and volunteered his services to people he didn't know, saying, oh, my son will design your new house. He'll draw your plans. He'll this and he'll that. My boyfriend's job is very stressful. He's not looking to do anyone favors, especially strangers, in his spare time. He ignored his father's texts and calls because it was foul. Eventually, his father just gave his number out to these strangers. That's when I really saw how hurt and disgusted he was by this person. Had my boyfriend not been a success story, would his father even try to have a relationship with him? It is far more common for a young black man to end up in the streets or worse, in jail, when he never had a father figure in his life to show him right from wrong. He hasn't tried to do anything for the other 2 hidden, neglected children, as far as we know. The oldest sibling blocked my boyfriend's friend request on sight. They've never met. That means he hates his father so much that he's blocking anyone that shares his last name. It makes you wonder, what type of man are we dealing with? It hurts my heart when my boyfriend hurts and that he feels he needs help in becoming a good man when he already is one. There was a situation over the holidays that brought a feeling of abandonment to my boyfriend and caused his worst anxiety attack yet. He lost feeling in his hands. His face was bright red. He looked like a tomato. He was covered in sweat, trembling, and was hyperventilating. It took 2 days for him to regain his energy and strength. After this, he decided to take a break from all of them and the entire situation and focus on work. He overworked himself and became depressed. 8 months later, he is back to his normal happy self, but his new siblings are trying to reach out to him to fix things. My boyfriend is genuinely a nice person, but he's very prideful. He will not let the same person play him twice because he knows that the feeling of betrayal hits him a little harder than it probably should. But should this be an exception? He's always wanted a younger brother, and this is his chance to have two. But I can't watch him be hurt again. My question is this: should he still pursue a relationship with his newfound siblings, or should he walk away from the whole situation altogether? Girl, he's a Cancer. I'm sure you already know Cancers are the most emotional of the bunch. Yes, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and I cannot and will not stand by and watch him hurt again. If they hurt him, I will have no choice but to step in and intervene and shut this entire shit all the way down. Love you, girl. All right, that was a long one. Don't write me no more letters like that, okay? That could have been half of that. You did not need to write all of that. I'm just letting y'all know future references. Don't be writing me no letters that long. Y'all see where we at with this? Anyway, okay. First of all, let me say this. I'm happy that you have a really great man. I'm glad that that's how you can speak of him, because I feel the same way about my man, that he's a good person outside of our relationship. And yours is just on some saintly shit. So I understand the need to want to protect his feelings. But at the end of the day, he is a grown man. And if he wants to have a relationship with his siblings, I don't think that's something that you should interfere with. I think he should definitely be able to make that decision on his own. And if things start to go down a road where it seems like he's being used or taken advantage of, I'm more than sure he will be able to, you know, do what he feels is best. I think you need to give him the space to do that for himself. I know you want to be protective and you want to intervene, but it's really not your place to intervene in their relationship. It doesn't even matter that you've known him longer and you knew him first. That's something that you don't want to get in between, because you don't want anybody to be able to say you was the reason why they couldn't work it out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to watch him get hurt if that's what happens. Let me tell you something. If you planning on being with this man, you need to realize over years you're going to see your man hurt whether you want to or not. He going to see you hurt. The world is a hard place sometimes, in between the way we have to work to maintain our lifestyles and the choices we make in life. Shit can get bad and shit can get good, and sometimes it gets both over and over and over again, and you cannot protect each other from that. The only thing you can do is be supportive of him and give him your shoulder when he needs it and be there for him, okay? But right now, as a girlfriend, I don't feel like you have the right to intervene in the relationship between him and his siblings, okay? You just keep telling him the truth. Tell him how you feel, but don't get in between nothing, okay? That's my advice. That's the best advice I can give to you. But let him try. Let him try, okay? Don't get in the way. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got for today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Share the video. Once again, description box, website, my Patreon account. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
On my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good, touch my swag.